and we maintain our social distancing at the same time. Some of you have machzor, and some of you have these handouts. It's the same. These handouts are the same exact service and pagination as the machzor. And before we start the formal service, I just wanted to review very briefly an idea I shared this past Shabbat related to the Torah portion during my sermon remarks. And I mentioned the death of Moshe on Har Nevo, on Mount Nevo. He was not allowed to enter into the promised land. He was not fated to cross the Jordan River. He would die on the east of the Jordan on Mount Nevo, unable to see his dream fulfilled. And then I brought in a poem by Rachel, the great Hebrew poet, pre-Israeli Hebrew poet, Rachel, who talked about Ish Nevo Lo. Every person has his or her own Har Nevo. We all have our own unfulfilled dreams, expectations, things that we imagine for ourselves that would never come to pass, and we have to live with that. And so in that light, I urged everyone to follow the exhortation of Moses, near the end of Deuteronomy and near the end of his life, when he implores the Israelites, instead of choosing the way of evil and idolatry, he implores the people to choose the way of life. Uvacharta b'chaim. Choose life. And that is what we are here to do today, to observe Yizkor and to remember our loved ones. We do what they would have us do. We choose life. We embrace life and the promise of everyday life. We embrace the goal of finding meaning and value in each and every day. We celebrate the fact that we are able to be here together to remember our loved ones right now during the pandemic, that we are able to safely be here outside and recite the prayers and remember our loved ones. And that truly is a blessing. It is something to be grateful for. And having said that, we are about to begin now our formal prayers for Yizkor. So please turn to the front page. Remember, this is like Hebrew, so it's the front that is the back, okay? You're with me. You understand. And Cantor will begin with the opening prayer for Yizkor.
Adonai madam vatdaehu ben enosh vatechashvehu Adam lahevel dama yamav ketzel over baboker yatzitz וחלף, לערב ימולל ויבש, למנות ימינו כנהודה, ונביא לבב חוכמה.
Adonai, what are human beings that you take account of them, mortals that you care for them? Humans are as a breath, their days like a passing shadow. In the morning they flourish anew, in the evening they shrivel and die. Teach us to count each day that we may acquire a heart of wisdom. On this solemn day, we each make judgments about the quality of our life. We re-examine our deeds and relationships with our community and with others. We express our yearnings for a new year, a new beginning, a year during which we commit ourselves to work toward bringing health and peace to all. We long for a year when individually and communally we shall strive to live in a way that is more reflective of the ideals that we cherish. Now, in the midst of looking at our life and assessing its quality, we pause to reflect and to remember and to dedicate ourselves anew.
שיוויתי אדוני לנגדי תמיד, כי מימיני בא למות. לכן שמח ליבי ויגל כבודי, אף בשרי ישכון לבטח.
God is always before me at my right hand, lest I fall. Therefore I am glad, made happy, though I know that my flesh will lie in the ground forever. The deaths of those we now remember left holes in our lives, but we are grateful for the gift of their lives, and we are strengthened by the blessings that they left us and the precious memories that comfort and sustain us as we recall them this day. Some of us recall parents who watched over us, nursed us, guided us, and sacrificed for us. Some of us lovingly call to mind a wife, a husband, or partner with whom we were truly united in our hopes and our pains, in our failures and our achievements, in our joys and our sorrows. Some of us remember brothers and sisters who grew up together with us, sharing in the play of childhood and the youthful adventure of discovering life's possibilities, bound to us by a heritage of family tradition and by years of togetherness and love. Some of us call to mind children entrusted to us too briefly, to whom we gave our loving care and from whom we received a trust that enriched our lives. So many of us recall beloved relatives and friends whose affection and devotion enhanced our lives and whose visible presence will never return to cheer, encourage, or support us. Though they are gone, we are grateful for the blessings they brought to our lives. We are sustained and comforted by the thought that their presence in our lives remains an enduring blessing that we can bequeath to others. We can show our devotion to them by our devotion to those ideas that they cherished. O God of love, make us worthy of the love we have received by teaching us to love you with all our heart and with all our soul and with all our might, and to spread the light of your divine love on all whose lives touched ours. Give us strength to live faithfully, for we are cheered by our confidence that you will not permit our lives to be wasted, but will bring all our worthy strivings to live on, even as we may not see their fulfillment. Before we recite silently the appropriate Yizkor prayers beginning on the next page, as I mentioned today or this morning on our live stream service, I would like us to remember that at this point we have lost approximately 205,000 souls in the United States from COVID-19, and worldwide approaching the number of 1 million. And to remember that each one of these souls was an individual, precious, and sacred life. And each one of these souls who died were left survived by loved ones, family, and friends who mourned their loss. And so as we recite the Yizkor prayers for our loved ones in just a few moments, let us also take a moment to reflect and to remember and to pray for the souls of all those who have died as a result of this terrible virus, COVID-19. We now take silent time for Yizkor reflections. Yizkor Elohim nishmo kol acheinu b'nei Yisrael shemasru et nafsham al kiddush Hashem. May God remember the souls of the martyrs of our people who gave their lives for the sanctification of God's name. In their memory do we pledge tzedakah. May their bravery, their dedication, and their purity be reflected in our lives. May their souls thus be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May they rest in peace forever in God's presence. And let us all say, Amen. May God remember the souls of our friends, members of this holy congregation, who have gone to their eternal home. And among them, members of our beloved congregation, Rodeph Sholom, who have died during the past Jewish year of 5,780. Stanley Block, Bernard Bloom, Ruth Z. Cohen, Andrew Deutsch, Henry Diamond, Myron Mike Dworkin, Alice Feidelson, Florence Germain, Edith Katzen, Alan Shapiro, Wallace E. Sloves, Wilbert Wettenstein, and Dr. Jonas J. Zucker. And we remember the clergy who have served our congregation with such devotion. Rabbi Elihu Rosenblum, Cantor Louis Rosen, Rabbi Leon Spitz, Rabbi Harry Nelson, Cantor Hyman Ziskin, Cantor Gershon Chertoff, Rabbi Murray Alstedt, Rabbi Moshe Cohen, Rabbi Sheldon Weltman, Cantor David Leon, Rabbi Sanford Hahn, Cantor Yeshaya Grama, Rabbi Israel C. Stein. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories remain a blessing. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life everlasting. May these moments of meditation strengthen the ties that link us to their memory. May they rest in peace forever in God's presence. And let us all say, Amen.
El male rachamim, shochen bameromim, המצא מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, לנשמות כל אלה שהזכרנו היום, חברי קהילה קדושה רודף שלום, שהזכרנו לברכה, ובתוכם כל אחינו בני ישראל שנטבחו בשואה, אנשים, נשים, וטף, שנחנקו ושנשרפו ושנהרגו, שמסרו את נפשם על קידוש השם. בגן עדן תהי מנוחתם, אנא בעל רחמים, הסתירם בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותיהם, ונאמר Amen.
Exalted, compassionate God, grant perfect peace in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure, whose radiance is like the heavens, to the souls of all those who we have recalled this day, among them men, women, and children of the house of Israel who were slaughtered, strangled, and burned in the Shoah. May they rest in paradise. May their memories be a blessing. Master of mercy, may they find eternal shelter in your sheltering wings, and may their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. Adonai is their portion. May they rest in peace. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Psalm 23.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לו אחסר.
A psalm of David, Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want.
בנוטה ירביצני, על מי מלוכות ינהלני.
God gives me repose in green meadows and guides me over calm waters.
נפשי ישובב ינחני, במקלי צדק, למען שמו.
God will revive my spirit and direct me on the right path, for that is God's way.
גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא אירא רע, כי אתה עמדי.
Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are at my side.
שבטך ומשענתך, המה ינחמוני.
Your staff and your rod comfort me.
פרוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי.
You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes.
דישנת בשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה.
You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows.
אך טוב החסד ירדפוני, כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני, לאורך ימים.
Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai in the fullness of time. Together now we recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'yalma divrach Yerutei v'yamlit malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach li'olam v'lomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpawar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu li'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויברו. Amen. May God, who establishes peace in the heavens, grant peace and harmony unto us, all Israel, and all humankind. And let us say, Amen. This concludes our service. We thank all of you for coming. We encourage you, once you go home, to tune in to our live stream Mincha and Ne'ilah service. Mincha will begin in just a few minutes at 5:15, and the entire service should conclude at approximately 7:20. We wish you and yours a happy and healthy new year, an easy conclusion to the fast, and let's hope that we're all together in person. Biyachad. Right, that's the word.
ביחד.
Biyachad, together, next year, if not in Jerusalem, then in the beautiful sanctuary of Rodeph Sholom. Thank you all.